Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start a new YouTube channel which is known as Amshlin Classes. Actually, this YouTube channel is meant for those who lack time. We all know that it's very important to clear departmental test, but many of us don't have enough time to sit somewhere and prepare for all these things. So this channel would definitely help you to prepare for your exams even when you are busy. So let's start. So, as an introduction, I'll be dealing with the paper, the Kerala Accounts Code. So, let's start. The Kerala Accounts Code. Actually, the Kerala Accounts Code was started because we needed an unification of rules after the formation of Kerala. The revised rules are issued in three codes. They are known as KTC, KFC, and KAC. It's all in conformity with constitutional requirements. Kerala Accounts Code has got three volumes. First one is General Principles and Methods of Accounts. Second one is Treasury Accounts. And third one is Departmental Accounts. This corresponds to the Auditor General's Account Code. KC contains Comptroller and Auditor General's rules issued in his account code. The volume 1 of the code, it describes the functions of CAG of India in relation to the government account and sets out the main directions issued by the CAG of India with the approval of President in relation to the Article 150. There are certain rules in the account code that vest power in the state government to frame rules in regards to particular matters. Orders issued by Kerala government are not consistent with the basic principles of CAG are shown as another head that's known as local ruling, which can be modified by the Kerala government. Amendments to the CAG rules can be made only by the CAG with the approval, if necessary, of the President of India. Chapter 1 of this deals with the functions of CAG in relation to accounts. And there are various things that come under this, like powers of CAG under the Constitution of India, Audit and Accounts Order 1936, under initial and subsidiary account rules, and so on. Chapter 2 deals with the general outline of the systems of account. Here, they mention three types of funds: consolidated fund, contingency fund, and public accounts of India and the state. And there are other things like transactions of other government, state treasuries, accounts of central state government, etc. Chapter 3 deals with general principles and methods of account, period of account, forms of account, major, minor, detail heads, pay and allowances, TA, refund of reserves, etc. Chapter 4 deals with interdepartmental transfers like adjustment between government, adjustment with outside bodies, interdepartmental adjustment, etc. And annexures deals with the list of commercial departments, etc. Chapter 4 deals with directions regulating the exhibition of recoveries of expenditure in government accounts. introductory recoveries from the private parties and government outside India, etc. Chapter 6 deals with directions on regulating the exhibition of losses in government account, building land, stores, equipments, inevitable losses, etc. And appendices. In appendices, there are many things like the initial and subsidiary account rules, list of major, minor, heads of accounts of central and state, receipts and disbursements, principles and rules regulating the distribution of certain changes and receipts between government, incidents of pay and allowances, leave salaries, etc. So we'll be dealing with one by one separately. Let us see who is an accountant general. Accountant general is the head of an office of an accountant subordinate to the controller and auditor general of India. State accountant general means who keeps the account of his state. Next term is consolidated fund. What do you mean by consolidated fund? It is consolidated fund of India or state or both. It's related to Article 71. Next is who is a non-civil officer, non-civil account officer. Actually, non-civil account officer is an officer, an account officer of Defense, Railway, Post and Telegraphic Department. What is a public account? Public account means public account of a state or whole India or both. So it can be public account of central government or state government or both. The Audit and Account Order was formed in the year 1936. Comptroller and Auditor General of India derives his power and duties in relation to account of union and states from the Article 149 and 150 of the Constitution of India. So you should remember that the Auditor General, the Comptroller Auditor General of India derives his power from which article? Article 1949 and Article 150. Duties and powers of Auditor General of India have been prescribed in the article in the order Audit and Account Order 1936. So which is that order? The duties and powers of the Auditor General of India has been prescribed in the order Audit and Accounts Order 1936. Okay, now let's see what are the duties of an Auditor General. Keeping of the accounts of the dominion of each province other than the accounts of the dominion relating to defense, railway, etc. That's his first duty. The governor may, after consultation with the Auditor General, may make provisions by the rules for relieving the Auditor General from certain responsibilities for keeping of accounts of any particular services or department or particular class or sector. The Auditor General prepares each year accounts showing annual receipts and disbursement. He complies with the orders of the governor. He prepares annually a general financial statement with the particulars of the balances and outstanding liabilities. The Auditor General shall have the authority to inspect accounts of any office in India, including treasuries. But there are certain accounts that the Auditor General need not the Auditor General need not verify. The Initial and Subsidiary Act rules relieves the Controller and Auditor General from certain responsibilities. Initial accounts required to be kept in treasuries. Initial and subsidiary accounts that may be required to be kept in offices and departments, then accounts of stores and stock that may be required to be kept in any office, then trading, manufacturing, and P&L accounts and balance sheets that may be kept in departments of federations, etc. These accounts may not be verified by the Auditor General. The Auditor General of India prescribes a form in which the accounts shall be rendered. He also directs how initial accounts should be kept. By the virtue of Article 150 of the Constitution, the CAG is empowered to prescribe the form of initial accounts. Any change in the form of initial accounts requires the approval of the President. The forms of account relating to defense, railway, and other departments or services whose accounts are not kept by the CAG may be determined by the department accounting authorities. Now let's see what is an appropriation account. The object of this account relates to the expenditure brought into an account during a financial year to the several items specified in the schedule of the Appropriation Acts under the Article 114 to 116 or 204 to 206 of the Constitution of India. Next topic is, what are the different types of accounts or systems of accounts? There are three types of accounts. They are the consolidated fund, contingency fund, and public accounts. So what do you mean by consolidated fund? Actually, a separate consolidated fund for central and state government need to be kept. It's a fund into which the revenue received by the government, it can be central government and the state government, and loans raised by the government by the issue of treasury bill, loans or ways and means of advance and money received by that government in repayment of loans are credited, and also from which expenditure of that government, when so authorized by the appropriate legislature, is met. So what do you mean by consolidated fund? It's the fund where the central and state government revenue received by the ways of loans raised, or it can be the money received by repayment of loan and other expenditures so authorized by the appropriate legislature is met. Next is public accounts. Here also there can be central government's public account and state government public account. All public money received by or behalf of the central and state government are credited and from which disbursements are made in accordance with these prescribed rules is called public accounts. The procedure for payment, withdrawal, transfer, disbursement of money from public accounts and consolidated fund are regulated by the Article 283. So what do you mean by that? Article 283 deals with the regulation. That is, it regulates the procedure of payment, withdrawal, transfer, disbursement of money from public accounts, and consolidated fund. All public money received on account of central government or state government shall be paid into the consolidated fund or public account. Next one is the contingency fund. That is the third one. It comes under 7A. Okay. So what is it? What is contingency fund? It comes under 7A. Central government and state government have separate contingency fund. The fund will be at the disposal of the president or the government of the state. This fund meets the unforeseen expenditure. It is regulated by the law made by the appropriate legislature. So what is it? This contingency fund. What is this contingency fund? It's a fund which helps us to meet the unforeseen expenditures. So, this is all about the types of funds.